Good morning, friends. Today, it is a great day. It is the first day of fall, and I am just so pleased to be with you. Good morning. My name is Michele Peterson, Coach Michele Peterson. It's time for coffee chat with Michele. And so grab your cup of coffee or your beverage of choice and just sit with me for a couple of minutes and let's talk about this idea of showing up, right? Are you showing up or are you simply just going through the motions? There is such a difference when you commit to showing up. And what I mean by that is when we make this decision to work from home, first of all, have you simply made the decision or are you really doing it, right? Have you heard the story of the three frogs who are sitting on a log and two of them decide to jump off the log and jump into the river? So then the question is, how many frogs are still sitting on the log? Well, all three of them are still sitting on the log because the two frogs, they decided to jump into the water, but they didn't actually take the action to do it, right? So there's a difference between the decision and then taking the action to make it happen. And I think we fall into this trap so often, right? We decide that we want to do something, whether it's jumping off a log or working from home or starting a business, starting a side hustle, starting whatever. Excuse me. We decide, but then do we show up and actually take the action required to make it happen? The concept of, build it and they will come, that is only in the movie, right? Field of Dreams. You really do have to take the action. And like I say, whether that is your own side hustle, whether that is working from home for somebody else, you have to make the conscious decision to actually act, right? So you've made the decision, but then you have to follow through, right? You have to follow through and you have to show up. Not just going through the motions, you have to show up. And so an example of this is I belong to BNI, which is a business networking organization, and we have weekly meetings. And we have a fabulous group, a really dynamic, supportive, committed group. But there are some people who show up for the weekly meetings, and they show up, but it's like that's all they're doing, right? And to be successful in BNI, and so BNI is all about the intentional passing of referrals to one another. And so the idea is that you're going to get referrals to help grow your business, and it's a beautiful thing. And what I have found, and I've been a member of BNI for 11 years now, and what I have found is that when people are just showing up to the meetings, they get some success, but they don't get that next level of success that they really are perhaps hoping for, or perhaps they've heard the stories of these great success stories from BNI, right? And they're like, well, how come it's just not working for me? It just must not work for my industry or my personality or whatever, right? And so I have been a mentor for BNI and, in my chapter. And so the first thing I always ask them is, okay, so I get it that you feel like it's not working for you, but it works as much as you put into it. You get out of it as much as, what you put into it. So I ask them, so what are you putting into it? What are you doing? What activity are you doing to reap the rewards from? And it's so true in every aspect of our life, right? So if you are going on a diet, what the results you're getting or the results that you will get are a direct correlation to what you put into it, right? Or the effort that you put into it. The effort of tracking your food, counting your calories, being active, all of the things that go into it, right? You get better results the more you show up and are actually taking the action. Same thing with BNI, same thing with working from home, right? So many people that I have talked to are like, well, I'm just not so sure that working from home is really for me. And, so my question is, have you just decided that it's a good idea, that it sounds good, that you just, maybe want to do it? Or have you taken the actions to really make it work? And by that, I mean, have you really come up with some strategies for how you're going to make working from home work for you? Have you figured out some tactics to stay productive and stay connected with people and all of the things that we need to do as work from home entrepreneurs, right? Have you really done all of those things? And it's so easy to just say, well, yeah, I'm working from home. I've decided it's going to happen. It's going to be great. And then you get into it and you kind of get into the weeds and you're finding that, it's a little bit of work. Okay, maybe a lot of work, right? To make working from home work for you. But it is so worth it, right? So anything that is worth doing, that is worth having, is worth figuring out what to do to make it happen. My belief. And so I encourage you to stop just showing up and take the action to make it work, to make it so that you are thriving from working at home, not just existing working from home, right? It is a beautiful lifestyle. I have now worked from home for 10 years and it is amazing. But it does take a little work. It does take a little intention and being very strategic about the tactics that you're going to take to structure your day and just make things happen. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I encourage you to, finish your cup of coffee, but just think about what can you do to really commit to taking the action required to make it really work for you. Don't just decide. Don't just show up. Really be there. Really be present. Really make it work. And don't just go through the motions. Show up and be present and be committed to it, right? It takes some commitment as well. All right. I hope this has been helpful. I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me. If you have found this helpful and you know somebody who might also need to hear this today, please share it. Sharing is caring. I will be back again next time. Until then, have a beautiful day. Enjoy. Hopefully it's great fall weather where you are. And just enjoy your day. Have a wonderful one. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.